Oh, that's loud. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome to San Marcos Poetry Night. Yes! Oh, yay! It's San Marcos Poetry Night. It's one of the best nights you'll ever have in your whole life. I'm Potato Mike, I'm the host. For those of you that don't know, we do 3 rounds. There's a list right there. If you want to read and you have not signed up on the list, oh, get it back to someone there. So there's the list. It's going around and around. Catch it as fast as you can. Anyway, so yeah, we start at 7:30. There's 3 rounds. We take a little 10-minute break after each round, and that's how we do things. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna have Thom and Bob Mudd. Everybody, give it up. This is his first time here.
This is. I had a dream that you were in it. I dreamed I was space traveling all through the thought sphere, and I was flowing as rivers flow until I stopped by dams, which is second thought, like second life. And I was a flash of a digital lightning bolt, and you were there, some of thunder, some of stillness, some of passion, some of quietude, but I wasn't sure. I loved the state of being in spring, the anarchist grass, the green. Not Irish green so much, but the green of touch, the grass, and earth that sends its messengers up from birth, and wild as weeds, as spring, a season of our being in. Now, from distance it seems so far away. Up close and personal, your birth happens every day. Every moment a door unlocks your eyes, you see another dimension inside, reflecting like a mirror to a mirror stand infinities. That they say, that was yesterday. Speak of tomorrow. And I say, I haven't got there yet. It was hard enough coming to spring, to the season of dream, and to have fellow travelers means everything. But the space between also has significance. The idea that we are in relationship and all particles are constantly moving. Take your thoughts dancing with your feelings. It's all been said before in some great stone soup in the universe, spinning like meteors out there in blind space. But I don't mind. You see, on this little moving rock of time, I find that we are the seasons. We are the green of spring.
Yeah. Y'all do not know how much of a treat it is to have Thom with Bob Mudd. Yeah. Next week is Austin International Poetry Festival. You'll see a lot more of these guys. I highly recommend going to AIPF.org, checking it out, participating in it. It's a wonderful, wonderful event. And so with that being said, here's Bob Mudd.
You see them there. The terrible future. If you take that path.
Through it. Coming up next, we have Louise. Everybody give it over Louise! Yay!
Aren't you sick of all these bluebonnets? The bluebonic plague.
Oh.
Every spring, it spreads across the land, a rash of blue with little white spots that won't go away for weeks and weeks. An azure bruise on the body of the hills with a ruddy swelling of Indian paintbrush and the jaundiced yellow of the buttercups. This blighted complexion of the green fields comes to an end with summer outbreaks of white and yellow and purple blooms, leaving Texas uninfected for another year.
Sick of blue bonnets. What?
Totally joking.
Yeah, of course. In case anybody that's just joined us, if you plan on reading, you'd like to read, you're getting my attention that you would like to read? Yes, you are. Here, pass this back. Thank you.
Go Chelsea.
Anyone else? Put their name on the thing. Stuff happens. Good stuff happens when you put your name on the thing. Are you? All right, I literally just wrote this. On before I came up here. Fresh. I haven't even really had a chance to edit it, so it's all edited. Anyway, I just had a kid, a baby. She's 4 months old, and we were listening. We had a little lullaby tape for her, and I never really paid attention to the lullabies before. And Hush Little Baby came on. And after I got to listen to it, I was like, what the hell? It's such a messed up song. And so this is my little rant against Hush Little Baby. Hush little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. Oh, that's sweet. Babies love birds. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Whoa. Pump the brakes, Papa Warbucks. How about if that mockingbird won't sing, you show the baby how to appreciate it anyway. Instead of buying some ridiculous bling. Your baby isn't the mistress of some mobster. There's no need to buy the baby off with a shiny $1,000 choking hazard. And if that diamond ring turns to brass, Papa's gonna buy you a looking glass. Okay, you got ripped off. Can't say that I'm surprised. In hindsight, you were a marked man as soon as you asked for a diamond ring fit for a baby. And if that looking glass gets broke, Papa's gonna buy you a billy goat. Fantastic parenting. Now the baby is all cut up from the broken glass and is now being babysat by a billy goat, a farm animal not really known for their tenderness. Seriously, look up some videos, goats have issues. And if that goat won't pull, Papa's gonna buy you a cart and bull. Ah, okay. So the goat failed at pulling your baby, probably because your baby is bleeding from all the cut glass, and even the goat realizes this is kind of fucked. So you decide to up the ante and go with the bull and cart, because that's what sane parents do. And if that cart and bull turn over, Papa's gonna buy you a dog named Rover. Holy shit! Did you hear that? The fucking cart turned over! How about you take the baby to a hospital instead? Don't get me wrong, I applaud your restraint and gift giving, and in all honesty, you probably could have started and ended with a dog. But seriously, take baby to a doctor. Rover can come along. And if that dog named Rover won't bark, Papa's gonna buy you a horse and cart. What in the hell? So at this point, you're just like, fuck it, right? The baby's all cut up and concussed. Might as well go all in and get them an actual horse and buggy, because nothing ever bad happens to people in horse-driven carts. And if that horse and cart fall down, you'll still be the sweetest little baby in town. No, you'll be the deadest little baby in town, because Papa is the worst parent ever and should be arrested. Hush, little baby, don't you cry, because Papa's got 30 more years to serve. Thank you.
Literally, I think you
It's over here. It's back here.
Wow, I did like 10 turns. Hello, people. All the new people that joined. Liz, awesome. I think you got the concept.
Oh, shit.
Sorry about that. All right, coming up next we have Steve. I should have known that before. Give it up for Steve. Yay!
This one over. I offend without intent when religious problem is my bent. I know almost nothing of religion, just what I am shown. The ways it has helped the world often go unknown. I'm not religious, but for those of you with faith, I respect your choice, even when it seems out of place. Like in most of life, the wackos get the press. If your reward for acting good is eternal life, I'm impressed. If following the Torah is enough, then that's fine with me. If the Quran tells you how to love, read it continuously. I'm not one to tell others how to think, but sometimes I guess I do. Please, please be religious, because that choice is up to you. I feel the way I feel, and I make no apologies. Comfort and faith was slowly stripped from me, but in many ways I gave it up willingly. The point is that I live in a time and place where I get to choose. If you make the choice within yourself, you won't garner any news. When you tell others who, what, when, where, how, and why, then we'll have conflicting views. Freedom is a funny thing. It can't be given to those that won't take it, and it can't be taken from those who won't give it up. With respect, I say to the peaceful parts of you, that the choice to follow or not is made inside of you. You can't save others that don't want to be saved, any more than you can save yourself by saving others. To be given a religion by force is no gift. This ideology can only cause a rift. Be whoever you want me to be, and in that way, in the way you lead your life, I might find divinity. When in the end you might be standing at the gate, are you defined by who you hate? I hope my words have gotten through to one or two, because judgment is not reserved for you. If it were, then in the end, all people of faith would be standing in front of you. Put down those stones you want to throw. They will make a perfect foundation for your temple, built on the bedrock of humility and humanity. Humble yourself, for pride goes ever before the fall.
Awesome, thank you. More people keep showing up. This is awesome. Hey, yes, list.
This time I know who's coming next, so I won't forget.
And okay, well, let's get done. Coming up next, we have Yaya. Everybody give it up for Yaya! Yay!
Hello, everybody. Hey. All right, so this is a reciting from a great American poet known as Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def. But he recently did an exhibition where he was force-fed, like the Gitmo prisoners are, and I encourage everybody to go see that because it's pretty intense. But it goes like this. Malcolm X, Somali Mom, the word of God and work of art, poetry to the brain and other unexplained phenomenon, chat down Babylon, smash all the automatons, feel the beat, got him feeling geek like it's Comic-Con, ball from the Holly Hall, more like a tomahawk, rocket launch, Charlie Cross right, knock the choppers off, Boomaye Baba Bay, fresh now from concentrate, looking very sharp today, thank you darling Don Cachet. Craft work, I'm on a German engineering. I build a frequency that don't adhere to interference. Fascists of the spirit, seekers in the clearance say the tongue is a mirror, the heart's a mirror, mirror, look. In that window is a freedom fighter's grandson. Fixed up, looking sharp, automatic handgun. Look, parade caravan, diplomat degenerate, messiah, pariah, the leader of the syndicate. Peace treaty written in, loophole penmanship. Same road, two sides, palaces and tenements. Dispossessed native tongue, noble, open, lonely heart, peel apart, come together, peel apart, come together.
Awesome, thank you. I got the list just in time too. I'm freaking out. Who's next? That dude's next, right there, he's typing on his laptop. Ryan! Everybody give it up for Ryan! Yay!
How y'all doing? Okay, so every sentence that I'm about to talk to y'all, I found sources for everything I'm about to say. So it may sound a little wild and audacious, but I can prove it. So okay. We have intelligence services growing into a technological capacity that eclipse their very own governments. We have been waging war on drugs for nearly 30 years, spanning nearly 15 countries with 120,000 people killed and countless more missing or injured. We worry about terrorists some 3,000 miles away while cartels behead people with chainsaws right across our very own borders. We see near autonomous vehicles scan the skies 24 hours a day in third world countries where children dream of drones and mothers sew blankets with images of them on it. We've seen our commander-in-chief redefine the definition of what it means to be a soldier so we can blow up a wedding or a birthday party in order to kill a single individual who will easily and willingly be replaced by 12 others. We enjoy the miracle of flight by forcing ourselves to stand prone and scan from head to toe to view our naked bodies before we have one of our many national identification cards stamped and logged of our travels. We have corporations that have completely bridled the elective process with money literally being defined as speech, including witness to the American taxpayer handing over nearly $1 trillion. We have a tax system so convoluted, so massively complicated that these very corporations can get away with the government paying them taxes. A system where the rich pay to find and exploit the loopholes. We live in a world where the top 1% controls more wealth than the lower 50% combined. We have black sites being operated and maintained on American soil where citizens are no longer read their Miranda rights. Sorry, my screensaver. Are no longer read their Miranda rights, and not a single major media outlet batted an eye. Every phone call, every email, every text message sent, every keystroke made is logged, and an army of savvy mathematicians and scientists comb over them to detect single instances of violence or take the pulse of civil disobedience in the nation. We've seen a single family fund and organize and execute 2,000 Americans by flying our own planes into the symbol of our financial center without a single iota of justice served, yet a plethora of atrocities in its place, all the while they are embraced as our bosoms, as our faithful allies. We've seen a nationwide movement against the banks and income equality turn up in dozens of major US cities, only to have it violently crushed under the guise of sanitation and not being able to get to work. We spend nearly half our entire budget on military defense to fight enemies who use cell phone detonation, 50-year-old rifles, and crock pots to fight us. While our roads, our bridges, and electric grid, ports, and communication networks are rotting and amassing an aging problem so monumental, it will take centuries to repair. We've seen an entire generation of children shackled to the banks through an education system forced upon them under the threat of being successful, with little promises and scant results, all the while being forced to pay into a safety net of Social Security that they will never seek. We've seen the size of government grow every year for decades with no end in sight, while our elected leaders are handpicked by elites of businesses to have their makeup perfected, suits ironed, to speak to us about fringe off-topic emotional issues that distract us from the fucking circus that runs this country. Thank you.
Damn. You know, y'all hear about like truth bombs? That was like a truth like H-bomb. Yo, Scott, where you going, man? You're next, buddy. Everybody give it over, Scott. It's so good to see this dude again. Everybody give it over, Scott. Yay!
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down if I can talk down that. This has been a long time coming, and I've sort of, I walked off the scene, the open mic scene, it is January 11th, I think, not to return until now. So, needless to say, lots of stuff has built up and conjurated and has been attempted to make sense of in writing, etc., 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 none of which may come out at this point, but maybe some of it will, which hopefully will be not what it was before I thought it, but what it is after y'all think it, if that makes sense. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to say, so I'll let y'all say it for me. Needless to say, I am nervous. That's where it goes. Can you turn that up a little bit? That makes a difference. Instead of me just listening to myself. I haven't officially let go of Winter yet. There's still a weird lurking sensation somewhere in the back of my mind, and I can't explain it. I tell you the truth, I don't really want to. I just want to get it out of my system. That a late freeze is going to come, and it's going to dry up all those flowers and all those things, and that's probably just to say, like everything else, every poem that any poet ever wrote, or open mic performer, or any songster or seamstress ever said, they were just methods of getting into the analogous place, where his life was something like he said, something true that said, you know, people ain't squat. That is, their bodies. We We ain't got no arms, and we ain't got no legs, and we ain't got no feet, and we ain't got no sunshine, except the ones we want to share with the world is a love and a song and a place and a thing that says my soul is just as good as yours, because it's the one that's coming out 3 minutes from now. Somewhere in this room there is a being whose arms are so wide and so broad. On the other side of the earth, they're cupped. And in them is a drink of water so pure and so true. Everybody on the surface of the planet can drink from it and feel refreshed. Man, I want to feel refreshed. I want to feel Barton Springs, San Marcos River refreshed, because something's going down and it ain't got nothing to do with anything except there's a song that says somewhere there's a soul that suffers. Every poet that I've ever known, every poet I've ever watched and held in my ears in the center of my place, open like a field full of daisies, you know. This ain't one open mic. This isn't even Wake the Dead. This is someplace far off in a planet where a guy is weaving a basket and smoking a joint and getting high with his friends, and they're all sitting around fishing something that they ain't never seen nor heard from about, because it's over here on our side of the universe. God darn. I spend a lot of time sitting at my computer programming things, and the only thing I can think of is because I like 4x loops. God darn. I like things that go around and around and around. And I like the fact, no, that's not true. I love to the nth degree. I love more than I can possibly say myself. I love every human soul that extends out from this room into the next person you meet when you walk out of it. And I love it not because it means something to me, because God, I don't know what anything means, but it means something to me. It is what it is because it feels so good to love. Thank y'all for listening to me. I appreciate it. Peace.
All right, thank you, Scott. Always a treat to have you, man. Glad you're back. All right, up to the good gravy. There's people everywhere. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. To the new people. If you want to read, yes. And if anybody back there, or right there, or anywhere, anybody that wants to read, you can do it. All right. Coming up next, we have Debangana. Everybody give it up for Debangana! Yay!
Oh, this one. Hello. I know it's already spring, and this poem is about winter evening. I met with a poet on the first evening of this year, and we talked about poetry, and this poem is about that meeting. First meeting. A soggy beginning of the year, still dripping branches, droplets on my eyes and cheeks, so on yours, forehead and glasses. Rest are clusters in the darkness of the frosty patio table. Floating smoke nestling inside my hair, inside our hesitation. Anxious cold fingers curling up, shivering. Our earnest words, poems orbiting on our lips. Poems awaiting warmth, fervor. Promise of obscurity greeting the first evening of the year. So does our first meeting. Strange warmth. Let it be my shawl for this winter.
Thank you so much. All right, we're about. No, that was not a very pleasant sound. I'm sorry for that. Hey, Mark, are you going to read?
Later, second round.
All right. All right. Well, in that case, we're a little bit over halfway through. So yeah. Well, let's just bring the next person up. Anna is on. Everybody, give her a Anna! Yay!
Hi. This is a poem about a power pose that goes like this, and it's called B. Power poses make me feel alive, in control, and that's exactly where I want to be. Heart center open and vulnerable, but only a moment's notice away from tearing you in half with articulate thought and practiced hands. Wonder Woman, only brown and softer, no man's mistress. For once, no, not for once, for every ounce of lifeblood left in this corpse-like flood of emotion and experience, I want to feel at home in the temple that is my sun-kissed skin and on the way to Chun-Li thighs. Sometimes my body language speaks louder than the tiny, inadequate words that crumble under scrutiny regardless. Sometimes the proximity of another set of opinions, past, present, presents me with this psychological phenomenon I've self-diagnosed as dirty old sock in mouth syndrome. It's the strangest sense of paralysis an utterly outspoken individual struggles through, and there are likely pills for it. I'm not quiet or tired. I'm observant and uncomfortable, playing the wallflower because it's the role I was written into, because it's familiar, because insecurity happens to self-aware warrior women too. Because how are you never sounded more hollow than when it spilled out of our mouths in indecipherable syllables, having tasted bland on all of our tongues. I knew forever could fit into 1 second in this madness, though I asked Alice anyway, how is the queen like a typhoon? She replied, in all ways, but the typhoon doesn't mean to be. I will not be the unthinking typhoon. My wrath is conscious, built up under oppressive waves of not enoughness and too muchness. And maybe I'll surface bloody and red as the Queen of Hearts, but it will be standing on my own 2 feet. So don't tell me I'm sweet as brightly wrapped candy, because wearing lipstick like war paint, I declared freedom from disingenuous compromise and polite pleasantry, swearing fealty only to my ever-elusive truth that bounds always ahead. Alice fell down the rabbit hole a lost, careless kitten and emerged a survivor.
Yeah, that was awesome. Quickly, the power pose. Was it this? Was it like that? Yeah. That's also, little known fact, that's the baby power pose to sleep. Like you look at babies when they're sleeping, they're like, yeah. Okay, coming up next, we have Rachel. Oh, is she ready? That's not a ready noise. Give it up for Rachel, yay!
Coming out as me. For me, coming out with my family never happened. It was just understood that I love whoever I do. And as long as they treat me with respect and it is a positive, supporting relationship, they will love and support me. And I know that I am so incredibly lucky. We live in a country where 40% of homeless teens identify as LGBT, but yet LGBT teens only make up 10% of the teen population. I remember a sophomore year in high school. 16. I told my mom about a girl I really liked and how I wanted to ask her to be my girlfriend. I remember her saying, Rachel, are you sure you're ready for all that comes with that? 2 years of self-discovery and growth later, I know that I am a lesbian, and yes, I am ready for all that comes with that. All of the stigma, the stereotyping, the arguments, the judgment, because I have been in love with someone before, and I know I didn't care about the stigma when I was with her. With her hand in mine, the stereotyping didn't matter. Arguments with people over your sexuality tell you more about the other person's character than reflect on your worth. People will judge you for literally anything. Love who you love because it is so worth it when it works out. And even if it doesn't last forever, love is something that can bring so much joy. And regardless of your gender expression, identity, or sexuality, you should be able to experience that.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, right. Oh, more people. I know that person. Yeah. I know a lot of these people actually. It just doesn't really narrow anything down. All right, coming up next we have Chelsea. Chelsea! Chelsea! Everybody get some Chelsea! Yay!
Don't fall, Chelsea. You're so proud, bro.
Not really. We're gonna leave it here. Just kidding. Alright. It's when he thinks about it deeply, it shuts him off completely. Tying a surprise at the end, willpower won't bend, send you amends. I fake to pretend. You got no money to spend. Another time this could come to an end, from she's my ride home to a girl that's just there to bone. Call you once they are all sent home. I feel so alone. Walking near people, don't get hurted with the sheeple. You think differently than they do? Can't persuade you. Funny way to say I loved you. Trace the way I love you, etch it in your forearm. Feel I need a forum to release in peace, taken aside and throw it in the public's eye. Late night lingerings. Finish my screenplay with all the figurines. A melting pot of the glass menagerie. Schoolgirl tragedy. Repeating, reflecting, are you suspecting? Modern day Gaia without the negative badgery. Medea's children are human flattery. But the community will rise above. When will these humans fall for platonic love? And knowing they're feeling eros, they can't all be your heroes. And here's the ending to my rhyme. All that is measured is time. At times it feels sublime, at times when you are mine. Whether you come here or from here I go there, it's hard not to stare, I travel for wares. Revolving in a constant state of arriving and departing, I feel I'm evolving into the person I was meant to be. But having learned that lesson till then, I'll just be left to be. No longer an ache for me, beaming a level up. Not the head with the sub, every hero needs a pup, because the one who follows me, because he adores he, protected from the abhor of he. All she does is think of she. Wish you were here with me. I miss the old me. I miss the girl that would sneak out and drive through the night just to risk her life. Reality revolves on a knife. Always look ahead. You should really be in bed. Instead, you hit a couple of deer, had to lie to get clear. Thank you, my dear. Those memories are so queer. My father granted me my first beer, spit it out the nookie, wash it off in his beer like a rookie. I remember when we ate all the cookies after Christmas that morning. Our house was never boring. All the times I wanted to run away, you cried when she wouldn't stay. I cried too, but it's because I saw you, sitting on the end of the blue slide. You never sang me lullabies. I never accepted that last goodbye. Broke down in Padre, sticking it out for my madre. Yeah. What a performance to cry a week for past weeks. I never had that. I just wanted to go to sleep. You dug yourself so deep. Clenched my soul, you tell me not to roll, but it's the only place that I'm happy. Stomping the floor with my feet, I need to feel that beat. I see you when you plug in to release. Hit the moment on repeat, pick up that backbeat. Deep sounds all around, I'm too high above the ground. Fall into silence without a sound. I feel you all around. Why are you crying?
All right, thank you very much. Coming up next, we have Nick. Is Nick? I don't see Nick. There he is. Everybody, give it up for Nick! Yay!
Are you in round two? But I'm going last.
In case love doesn't exist, don't strum your matches where the child's mind begins to cry. Please never swear your sensitive voice on a hooker's door, and please never, ever cry your anger for afternoon sunshine.
All right, thank you very much. Coming up next, let me see, how many people do we have next? 2, 3, 4, 5. We got about 5 people next. And then just so you know, we do a little thing. We take a picture, all of us, all of you beautiful people, all of you. We all come up here, take a big group photo so everybody gets to see how happy we were, how drunk apparently I was. Yeah, and they'll all be like, damn, I wish I went there. I'm like, yeah, you do. Come next time. So coming up next, we have Jordan. Everybody give it up for Jordan, yay! Oh,
I wrote this. Entitled, I Stand 5'5". I stood before her, all 65 inches of my being, and I leaned in towards her. All right, now let me explain. You see, how can you label me, compare me next to Frodo the Hobbit? I'm 5'5", but you want someone who's flawless. You walk above me thinking I'm worthless and only paying attention to what's on the surface. You say, well, we wouldn't look right. People will say things like, what? We're just 2 normal human beings? You counter with how we're supposed to dance, how we're supposed to kiss. Well, who says a girl can't lead? And honey, I'll bring a stepladder if you insist. I'm tired of being the short man who gets overlooked. You keep judging me like a cover of a book. Also, you can make me hate myself every time I can't reach the top shelf. Why assume that a taller person is the one and the short guy? Well, he was just for fun. Oh. And while I'm on this subject, why does it matter what my shoe size is? I mean, why is everything so sexualized? How come it's not enough the love I have for you inside? Why is my size judged but not my character? How can you make your decisions and call it fair? I have my words that aren't enough. I have my words and they aren't enough. I can't provide you that superficial stuff. All I have for you is my direct admiration. This infatuation is no imitation. So please see it through. As I do, all I can do. I'll try and branch out, but my growth is very limited. I mean, I'm being on the same basis as being someone called Kid. But my will is unbreakable, and I stand here, 5'5", showing you that I don't need to be 6'3" to feel loved or alive. I don't need to be this tall to ride any ride, so no wooden sign at a park is gonna, ruin my pride. So go ahead and label me. Adios will be my last word, and I'll strut away, you'll see, while I flip you off the bird.
Hell yeah. That's great. All right, everybody, coming up next, we have Cody. Everybody give her Cody.
Hello. Alrighty, I wrote this one a little bit ago. Not today. I mean, maybe a year, maybe less. I don't know. Alright. It might take small steps like beetles to bend back all the needles, pricking and poking to pocket the profits designed to preposter our knowledge. Well, we are broken and bruised. We can't count all the wounds, but I'd rather be bandaged and brave than weak and a slave. In this nation we call the U.S. of A. Piece of shit. Hypocritical thinking devotion is split, and with the two-party system, forget the ignorant and sick. Sit alone with your wealth. I hope the electoral college votes you to hell, and that one-man majority won't seem like a sufficient way to tell the truth. But you lose, just like we have. You feel the abuse, or is the confusion overwhelming your mind? Pondering the purpose of this life and time, trying to develop a sense of structure for something so abstract and sublime. But it's the wishy-washy wondering that will keep all of our souls in line. Searching for something that surpasses all the outlines, all the hard times, all these societal pressures that seem to constantly be on the incline, distracting our minds from what's real and what's right. For we are feeding the greed machine, indulging around every corner like materialism. What's that mean? Our souls are splattered with sadness, our destiny controlled by all the bad habits, all the entrapments, all the contraptions that hold us captive with no reaction. And how do you not feel compartmentalized by the fractions? Because no one's asking the right questions. We're just filling our minds with shit and getting indigestion. And so I sit and listen for anything that whispers. I am searching for a secret within a well-kept cryptic inside the conundrum. I'm running round about the substance and pondering on my patience, so only expedites the process. of emanating vibrations, revolving around sensory sensations and perceptions of past lives, past lies. The past lies the foundation for the rest of our lives. Well, I'm in dire straits for rearrangement. Cloudy times and late nights pollute my embankments. I'm ready to embark on a voyage, to find divine and realize that life is a struggle. Fumble and fuddle your brain, it is real insight trouble to overcome the illusions. Step over boundaries and leap to profound conclusions. In between you and me, it's either intellectual thought or it's guaranteed we are losing. To encompass the universe and forewarn of self-destruction, or before our very eyes will occur an unwanted substitution for a promised empirical solution, with gold streets and no please or thank you along the way. But I'd rather wash this cup every day than add another piece of trash to the ocean that I could have saved. Because when the grid begins to ripple, when reality becomes hypertonic and shrivels, and while the earth sits still with humans spread about like a landmine field, cancerously crawling around, or rummaging ravishly, and human gluttony is the only audible sound. So let's turn around now, purify our souls and reach for a new direction, overcome with passion and affection and mental realignment. I ensure we will all be protected, for no matter about this human life you lose, the universe is awaiting an eternity for the spirits on the loose.
Excellent, thank you. Hell yeah. This is San Marcos Poetry Night, that's what this is. We got 3 more poets left, and then we're gonna take, it's gonna be the end of round 2. Wait, what? The end of round 1. I can't put anything back to you guys. So coming up next, we have Trevor. Everybody give it up for Trevor! Yay!
Hey, before I came to San Marcos, I was in Colombia for 3 months. This has kind of guided my writing. Sometimes chimneys are the best way to breathe in the cold when caves bite back and swallow you whole. I'll be chin swimming syrup-thick atelectasis and hand-skin infested feeling from the blaze of my trail across fallen ceilings, because I'm dealing with reckless slips by insisting on pushing my wrong turning back, because of the call of the mall is all that's holding me back on a slightly ascending rock-chesting crawl. I tear down to be red-hot filled with frozen, overgrown hills, and unbroken, uncornered heat, and on that jungle floor with nothing more, I was finally free. My philosophy is pour stone. It cropped out all the need for hot meal stability, because stances are for streets and stances are for kings. My duels are close-handed, my deals are hideaway forgotten, no sideways glances. Chances are I take my chances when hornets can thorn me 23 or more times, and I roar on, ignoring my check engine life. Death is only a lie told by the scared, and wrong or right, I just don't care. You only pass as recklessly as you dare, and I dare every time, and I dance every time, and I land every time, just not on my feet. It doesn't seem to matter to me. Splattered or shattered, there's always a piece to free fall, waterfall beat. To free fall, waterfall beat with napkin cartography, to solidly step over your stumbling self, and it's all the sweeter for it. My tea is deeper than that stupor. My creases are steeper than my shoes were ready for. So I unsteady every step in, because I may need to step out, but I'd rather stare it down and shout and make those maulings my anthem calling. So unsteady your volcano promise in spite of the law, and walk along unnamed rivers with bullet-riddled crumbling walls. Then you can blow smoke with crack addict constituents, laughing in a language no one is fluent in, and still understand them. And I made friends from coked cans and calloused hands, and I can do it again. The present is a gift that gives things not on your list, so live by your hip. And on those ridges stacked with Elysian grass, I still wished for more than the distance I had. Valleys only last until they are filled, so downhill crash past the wax palm pills without holding on, or holding back, even if it will save your life. Avoiding the break just may ruin your last day to sign many lines with your last name rife with fence hopping, barbed wire crawling, and belly grass talking to an uneven bench that I left for way out in a darkness that few come to know. But I'm gone so far that I've come to know. I found bountied kiwi kisses, counting down the last light. My plight was the safe guide, the gods in our head, the God in our heads to a messily sheeted bed imprinted by grace. My hands hid in front of my face, and I felt others wrap around my waist. But I wasted the blanket of night on weekly fevers lit in hours that towers over days that weren't supposed to be hours. And I wish there was no one there, but I'm drawn to tangled hair and mangled jungles and strangled struggles, because fighting is identifying with truths you have heard, because sighting crested horizons are worth it west of the rest of the world's mirth, because dirt is the best dress for the earth.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, we just got 2 poets left. And our next poet, I can't read his handwriting. I think his name starts with a D.
Darren.
Darren, there he is, that guy. Everybody give it up for Darren, yay!
Okay, this is a pretty short one. It's called December 8th. The Georgians on the day eases the pain away. From the nausea we woke to the day's dizziness we black out for. Nature complements our lifestyle. Winter days and gloomy and stubborn light just diminish the livelihood of the region. Like, wait, can I redo this?
No.
Hey. Yeah, I can. The dolphin of the day eases the pain away. From the nausea we awoke to the dizziness we black out for. Nature complements our lifestyle. Winter day with the gloomy and sober light diminish the livelihood of the region like a cold and quiet night. Projecting my feelings onto this December mood, praying for the months like April and June. The unloved wallowing cruel moon while nature is in full bloom. Trees dressed in vivid shades of green, living for the days that never end. Pursuing the pleasures that pleases the appeaser, we dive into glory, run and skip, play and sit, fight and kick. Love our other slips, that the momentum goes on, that the memories live on, that the moments trail on, and that the cycle moves on. All right.
All right, thank you. All right, we're up to the last poet now. Yeah, and he even told me, he was like, I want to be last. And I was like, all right, so he wrote last for his number. And so that's special just for him. After we're done, I want all of us, as much as we can, we're going to take a big old group photo so everyone sees just how freaking awesome this is. I mean, people everywhere. This is poetry. This is for poetry. Like, that's just, yeah, that's awesome. So, with that being said, give it up for Nicolas, everybody. Nicolas, yay!
Look at that shirt.
Wow.
That's good. That's fresh.
My mind hasn't been very clear this month, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so you know how this works. Need a word.
Alphabet.
Festivals.
Sorry. I heard alphabet. Maybe I'll use bookshelf too. Okay. The infinitesimal alphabet of words that contains the dreams of books upon the shelf that is my mind that conjures up the words within the pages of my fingertips that curve and curve and curve the page like it curves and curves and curves your face. On the wrinkles of those pages I make the marks, and the words they speak to me in all the contours of their shapes and their their infinitesimal meanings, much as I find whenever I curve the page of your face. When I find everything in the world in a book, on the table, on the bookshelf, on your face, I rub it down I go down further until the last chapter is at the epilogue, and the epilogue is we have a life together, and that life together is sitting in 2 chairs, hands held, one upon the book, and we're looking at the bookshelf, which is full.
All right, everybody, that is what we do here. That was the end of round 1. We're going to take like a 10-15 minute break. 9:45, wow, 8:45 will be when round 2 starts. Real quick, picture, everybody. Awesome, yeah!
I shouldn't have said that. I just wanted to be
Hey everybody, we're about to start. Just let all your friends know that are back there, people that are back there, that probably can't hear me. They'll hear us. They'll know when things are starting. Nicolas, are you reserving your places last? Alright everybody, let me check those. Yes, we are having laser beams. That's what we're psyching you all up for. It's going to be an intergalactic round 2. Wow, it's kicking in. Alright everybody, I'm not talking about it. It's the assets. Alright, so coming up, right away, right off the bat, we've got Thom and Bob Mudd, everybody. Give it over Thom and Bob Mudd. Yay!
What are you, not who, inside you? Minerals? Silicon chips? Are you matrix? You plugged? Grid? Are you beaches of infinity? Mountains of sadness, strip mined? Caves of sadness from another time? What are you? Elemental particles constantly in motion, dancing like woolly masters on a pinhead? Sufi dancers on a night shuffle? You came in here expecting some form of illumination apart from the air conditioning. You expected a red carpet to a crystal palace of imagining shimmering. You thought, you felt your pulse, your beat would sustain you on the journey. And it does until it stops. They say the road goes ever on, but not the toll road. There's a notice in your mail saying you're late. You're not getting the usual stamp. Someone is authorizing. There is a way to understand, but that's not it. Around the corner in elliptical, our old friends, Heisenberg and Heraclitus. There they are again. Uncertain and joyous. Together, like twin dolphins' DNA, you say, on the inside I am more than the outside. Co-creating, more than the static of traffic and the gridlock emotion, more than the road that will take you home, more than one. Twin waves, sine waves, radio waves, we wave, oceans.
Hell yeah, man. Such a treat, man. Y'all really. And if y'all like this, really, next week, Austin International Poetry Festival, you'll see a lot of these dudes. Check it out. And that dude. And other dudes. And dudettes. And no, I can't. I can't make it. Yeah, my hologram will be here. That'll be good. Alright, coming up next, we have Bob Mudd. Everybody give it up for Bob Mudd! Is everybody back from that? All right. Coming up next, we have Louise. Everybody give it up for Louise. Yay!
I wrote this musical called Chanteuse about two young women from Texas who go up to New York to be folk singers in the 60s. Anytime I do a song, I have to kind of explain the part of the plot this song comes from. At this point, they've become popular, almost famous. They've been offered recording contracts together and separately. And Darcy, who has been the engine, who's driven the act for several years, you have to understand, in the 60s, we think of it as a time of liberation. People weren't quite as liberated as they were to become later, and we know we still have a ways to go from what happens in Indiana and Arkansas these days. So, yes, indeed. So Darcy is afraid that her love for her friend, Johanna, might hurt her friend's career. But then her friend becomes this big international star by herself, marries a French film director, comes back to New York and brags about it. And so Darcy's a little jealous. And her friend says that her husband Jean-Claude is going to maybe even put her in a movie. So she says, it's Johanna Clark, star of stage, screen, and television, and the movies. The movies! She has no shame. So she becomes the little girl from Houston becomes a big movie star with her famous husband Jean-Claude. Well, where's the movie about me? There isn't any. In the movies, love is bedrock, whether in or out of wedlock. See the lovers kissing, hear the music swirl. But before the picture's closing, I know that I'll be dozing, because a girl never gets the girl. In the surf, couples are strolling, while the soundtrack's rock and rolling. But I don't really care to see that plot unfurl. When you see only one of each's making whoopee on the beaches, you know the girl never gets the girl. All my life I have resented never being represented. I should take aim and give my popcorn box a hurl. Many times I have regretted not getting the screen all raisinetted, because the girl never gets the girl. Thank you.
I love a well-timed awe. It just makes it even better. All right. Coming up next, we have Robin. Everybody give it up for Robin. Yay!
It would probably make more sense to realize that I wrote this in the daytime. Come to this day in beauty. Let the sun come to us with the subtlety of the moon. Magnified, magnified. The sun as if the moon were a fire and not a reflection. Moon beauty on this fine out, blue and gold day with shades of green. Yes, the sun, yes, but the moon too, even at noon. Thank you.
Thank you. What? Hello. Oh. Hello there. Whoa. No, there I am. All right. So, in case anybody that's just joined us that you want to read, if you're not on the list, let me do way back there. What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Thanks, everybody.
Do it. Do it.
For him, like,
Who?
we have another person. Wait, we have another person on.
Yes. Yes. You're gonna read?
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna read. What's your name?
Leah.
Leah? Yeah. All right. Leah. Everybody, give it for Leah for that read. See, everybody says peer pressure is a bad thing. All right, this is a poem that my very, very good friend wrote. He's a drama teacher in Houston. He doesn't think anything of his poetry, and I think the dude's a badass. So I'm reading this without his permission. It's called Life in the Dark. If the universe goes dark, and there yet fills a last alone, but not lonely, spark of life, will it tremble with uncertainty at the certainty of it all? If the last glimmer fades from the last collapsed, exploded, last no more, remnants of a star, will it shriek unrecognized at the recognition of it all? If the spectrum goes cold without even a static trace, a static zero, vestige of energy, will it smile, understanding at its standing after all? Thank you. Yeah, see, I'm gonna tell them that's what y'all did. Right? Bastard, your poetry's good. Coming up next, we have Steve. Everybody give her Steve. Yay!
I didn't choose religion, it chose me. It came knocking at my door, offering me life forevermore. The price was small, they would say. Blame the devil for all the bad and constantly pray. Easy enough, I would say. Then a bill came due one day. For some people I could not pray. For them only hatred held sway. That they were called gay. I accepted through faith that it was all okay and agreed to pay this price. Then I carried on my way. The list was ever expanded. I saw these people wherever my eyes landed. Blacks and gays. Blacks, gay, and Muslim. Blacks, gay, Muslim, abortion supporters. Blacks, gay, Muslim, abortion supporters, mixed race people. Anyone not welcome under our steeple. They wanted me to hate them and to see them not as people. I left this church and God behind, having learned enough to make up my own mind. But my list of who to hate was framed in time. How long before I would be added to that list? And underlined, who would hate me, then who would want me dead? Who by bomb, noose, or lead would claim for me, my lack of faith, I should be dead? All these thoughts ran through my head. When I hear the whispers of the they spoken about with dread. The day I chose to not accept the love and reject the hate, I guess is the day I sealed my fate. Listen close as you congregate, for one day your fellowship will be visited by those telling you with love who and what to hate.
You're up next. Everybody get over Yaya!
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Everybody's so beautiful. It's so cool. Like, I don't know, you can look around and see like the diversity and like, I don't know, it's really overwhelming. And it slowly happens. Like, the first round is pretty cool, and second round you feel like, oh, like, I love these people. And then third round it's like, everybody get naked. No, but alright, so I'm gonna need a little help in this poem because it's new and like rhythm and stuff. So if I can everybody just go like, just say real quick. Alright, sweet, cool. Alright, right here. Alright, here we go. I'm working close with addiction, body twitching, consume quickly, American tradition. Everything smells so fishy, nobody's fishing. Living in a time without consequence. Building cars, clothes, no consciousness. Focus on fame, no righteousness. But I can feel it melting. Asking for love, I think I need a second helping. Looking around, I swear I'm more confused than ever. Ain't so clever. Rearranging my endeavors. The mother culture cut you up and leave you severed. Come back together. My shoulders crumble under pressure. How do we measure love, respect, and justice when I'm stuck on pleasure? Here we go. A metamorphosis, time to look forward and start focusing. Heartbreak just makes for openings. Closing in on justice. Clumsy feet, but heart is a thumping. Thoughts swell in my head like a pumpkin. I'm onto something. No more lies, truth to bear witness to the teary eyes. Kamikaze pilots were born to fly. Well, I guess then we're all born to die. No surprise. Plenty people chilling with the spirit in the sky. So teach me, so willing. So teach me, so willing. Soul drenched with gasoline, ready to burn. Life takes its course, man, I'm ready to turn. Make it better with some butter, and I'm ready to churn. Glad it like that. Because if you didn't know, well, here we go. Now there's privileged people and invisible ceilings, oil worlds and harmful drilling, concealing gitmo torture and killing. What a feeling. Living in paradise, now keep on dreaming. Happiness of a drug that's always fleeting. Stimulate the mind, done with the chiefin'. Listen in the spirit of Martin speaking.
Awesome. And you know what? Now because of you, I'm gonna have. Who does it make you go? Oh, is that Master P? Was that Master P? Yeah. And I'm gonna have that all the way home. I'm just gonna be like randomly na 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 na. So coming up next we have Ryan. Everybody give it up for Ryan.
Makes a wonderful life. Oh, that's good. Okay, so for Christmas, I gave my mom some books and I wrote her a poem. And I only shared it with her, and like, y'all are pretty cool, so. Okay. You're pretty cool too. Thanks. Hey mom, it's me, your one and only son. Christmas is here, so let's have a bit of fun. For 23 years and some odd months, you've stayed on my side, even when I've acted like a dunce. Through thick and thin, as the saying goes, you've supported my efforts when I've suffered harsh blows. I remember in grade school the hell I put you through. I went in and out of trouble and even made you feel blue. But you're my mother, you love me, and I love you too. We've laughed, we've cried, and shared stories too. The books I've gifted you are important to me, so let me name them. Let me name them all three. First is Hungry Planet, an international view of the people who share our planet, this planet of blue. The second is a book that will make your brow furrow, Walden and Other Stories by Henry David Thoreau. He lived in the woods and criticized the man. For these reasons, I think you'll be a huge fan. Last but not least is A Wrinkle in Time. It's one of those books that's a favorite of mine. It follows a girl and her brother through space. They meet angels and demons face to face. You've always been there for me. I hope that you treasure these things you've received. To put things plainly, I cherish everything you've done. For me, I love you, your one and only son.
Doesn't that just warm your heart? You know what? I don't know your mom, but from that poem, she sounds like a pretty cool lady. Is that Joe? Oh my God, it's Joe B. Yeah, we got Ella. Are you gonna read? Yeah, hell yeah, you're gonna read. And Mark, oh my God, there's just so many cool people here. I'm sorry, I'm geeking out. There's some Austin International Poetry people here, and it's just awesome. Y'all are in for a treat. Board members at that too. They're badass people. This is all you gotta know. Man, I got all flustered now. I just saw those beautiful smiling faces and got just so damn confused. Coming up next we have Scott. Everybody give it up for Scott! Yay!
Wow! I'm sitting there thinking, man, and I don't know about y'all, but Linus is one of my heroes. I mean, Peanuts. Linus from Peanuts. And this to me feels like the most sincere pumpkin patch ever. I no longer can see you. feet, so don't go tapping your foot yet. As I lay on my couch the other day, it's actually a futon. According to some people's use of the words, it's a futon, but I call it a couch, so fuck 'em. Woo! It's also a bed, given my possession with my kids. I was contemplating the finer points of suicide. I don't mean how to do it. I got a French chef knife. Everybody's got a French chef knife. I got tobacco. A lot of people got tobacco. But I was contemplating the finer points of suicide, meaning I was contemplating the fact that when you die, or when you go into that really dark space of yours, everybody got one? Yeah. You are approaching what I would like to call the infinitesimal. Which earlier today had me thinking, which I think is really funny, people really, really, really understand the infinitesimal because we are fascinated by black holes. And inside everybody, maybe not. Inside me, when I go into that infinitesimal space, I come out hopeful, benign, caring, loving, giving, selfless, and only want the song to go on and on and on. So in a room full of sincere people, I don't give a flying rat's ass about infinitesimal anymore. I want to talk about the infinite. I think the infinite is what it means to truly love somebody. When you love them, there is no judgment, there is no decision about it, there is no regret, there is no thought, there is no changing of a song, there is just what it is. That you want for them what they want for themselves. So the infinite is sharing it with everybody else. So if I'm lucky tonight, I'll go home filled to the brim with this thing that y'all have given me called love and attention and a playful bit of words. Because in the room full of sincere people who care about nothing but words, the only way to describe it is it's got soul. It's got a compassion that says, man, I hope everybody goes home tonight and dreams of a world where you can wake up tomorrow doing exactly the fucking thing you want to. And if you can't, my heart goes out to you. Look to the brother next to you, look to the sister next to you, because their heart goes out to you too. Because god damn it, we're all in this fucked up thing that says we gotta do things that we don't really fucking want to. But for the space of 3 hours of Wake the Dead on a Thursday night, we can do exactly what we want to share and love and feel all gooey inside and let it pour out over everybody anywhere. I don't care who the hell's watching. Peace.
Right on. Hell yeah. That's what I love. Everybody leaves here feeling gooey and happy and awesome. Yes, because we are all gooey and awesome inside. I don't know if you know that. Coming up next, we have Debangana. Everybody give it for Debangana! Yay!
This is about distance. Distance, how far you are. In the beginning, there was distance. Exactly how far, I could not know. Time hibernates, unseen for days. Monsoon has come and gone, puddles form exact shapes to slip across. The oak draws its shadow in a visible distance, completing a lonely evening. The distance loses its patience, condenses into images, consumed in melancholy. The distance displays its indifference, shut me in poems until dawn, yet still orbits urge to consummate the distance. Time hunts, wish it would gather for days, to so would suit together distance and me. The shadow of the oak tree spans across the mud road. In the beginning, there was distance. Exactly how far, I could not know. If only the sudden rain of Louisiana washed out all the distance, spread the distance of the oak branches sank, the distance in the sound of the river. Time courses, escaping my grasp. Spring has come and gone, colored our circumference drunk. The oak shadow expands past recognition. In the beginning, there was distance. Whether we meet at the distance or not, I could not know.
Awesome, thank you. Coming up next, we have Anna. Is Anna? There she is. Everybody give it up for Anna. Yay!
This is a poem called Las Mañanitas, which is the birthday song in Spanish. Every day is someone's birthday. Life is an everlasting party to attend. The cake and song change form, but always, wrapped in blurred laughter and praying to spirits. Shots devolve into well-meaning promises and plans that dwell forever on horizons, die on lips frosted with reservations, trapped in streamers stretching into endless numbered days. But embraces and elated breaths define who we are, who we love, are the meaning these many particles substantiate. Full of smiles, buzzing in bliss, I am sated and singing of morning. Candles that melt our resolve and hold all of our dearest wishes hostage, twinkle softly, admiring the dance of the cosmos before being blown off into some ashen space where memories struggle to overcome unfeeling eternity. Every day is someone's funeral, a celebration saturated with sighs that grieve moments which are increasingly harder to make peace with.
Excellent, thank you. All right, coming up next we have Rachel. Everybody give it over to Rachel. Yay!
So these are a little bit short, so I'm going to read two of them. Put on that lipstick that makes you look like a sexy vampire. When going out, be comfortable first. Vans are always cute, and you can never go wrong with a leather jacket. I guess what I'm saying is maybe finding someone else starts with finding yourself and finding comfort and being comfortable. Thursday night self-care is the title. Alright. Effective one. And sometimes you logically know that you probably shouldn't, but your heart is screaming out to you that you should. You want to see if something is still there, if it's worth exploring, if a friendship could bloom out of the ashes of a past love lost. But maybe sometimes it's better to wait. And if after winter the sunflowers still bloom and she makes an effort to come back into your life, then maybe you should give her a chance. Sunflowers.
Thom is throwing out the shakers. Be careful. All right, coming up next we have Chelsea. Everybody give it over to Chelsea.
She smelled like sage and the metallic tinge of blood. It lingered in her hair and followed her everywhere. The bare presence of her soles could not take her away from the song that he played, the first song that's imprinted on her skin during a time when he thought he'd never win. The world is filled with good people and bad people, and I'm one of the bad ones. Then I am too. How can I be human after you? Predator to the sheep, his heart is not hers to keep. She let it go, she did a line of blow, nose candy, how dandy, Molly is the new Mandy, but Coke still makes her choke, thinking back to that second spring break. That collie heightened them being awake, drugs is not love, but fuck, it makes you fly like a dove, looking far above, can I reach heaven? The clock ticks past 11, always wake up around 7. One to replace the other, why do you doubt your mother? She always knows, she gets that feeling, that maternal tie to you. You don't think she knows what you do? Oh, baby girl, please don't take any more pictures. They can't feel the fixtures, and you're splitting memories between illusion and reality, constantly tripping on gravity. What goes on in that brain cavity of yours? Please deplore. This comically cosmic chaos, when is the next payoff so I can drive to see you? I just want to be with you. I just want to see you. I don't want to see you. Not tonight. Your timing isn't right, and you didn't even say bye to me. Think you can get high with me? But still you drive to see who am I going to be? It's because the music distracts me, you can't counterattack me. And how I loved you, the best friend since before 32, I've lived 3 lives with you. One is my son, and oh, how we would sing. And that little girl that would hide in the back just to see your throat ring. And pull on your hair, oh, how I would stare. At that little blue-eyed soul, its eyes slowly turning old. And even turning green with envy, quite condescending. She got every playful side to you, but to me all I got was a mood, a disinterested taste. That had made me waste my ever-maternal love on you. That was a different you, though. Growing up in the 60s, raging through the radical entities, that back crack, that humble shack, followed you through the hazmats. Our life was so erratic, a bit enfratic, hostage in the attic, quite contratic. Please just ease the addict. I'm a bit on track at it. I swear you'll see the better part of me. Give your whole heart to me. Let me see what we can be if we just have the time. If I just accept the line that would again make you mine. Playing through the priestess in ruins. She knows that she's pretty, and what a pity it's wasted on you. Her youth and innocence are hiding, still residing in the empty halls of the school, but she's so cool. She breaks all the rules, or more creates her own, comes home just to get stoned. Going home is such a chore. Being with you, it's really a bore. And that's why she lets you have a whore. You come to me when you want more. Skin trails exasperation, wet brow participation. The dew collects condensation, figuring you out, deliberation. You are a creature of a rare breed. Ha, nah, man, I just know your needs.
Hell yeah. Coming up next, we've got Nick.
Yes.
Nick, there he is. Everybody give him Nick. Yay!
I don't know how this guy knew I wanted to make sure.
Drop the beat.
I carve together my clones so I can seek refuge for my own safety. Otherwise, my one-dimensional jokes become stale and forgetful like a lion's maiden call.
You know, I like that pop a lot more than actual dropping of the mic. People don't realize mics are expensive. Yeah, think about that every time you see somebody drop the mic. You're like, hey man, that cost somebody some money. We got about 10 poets. If there are any poets that are gonna read for round 2 that I haven't gotten yet, just throw something. Don't throw something at me. Get my yeah, throw money at me. I like the way Thom thinks. And coming up next, we have Jordan. Everybody give it up for Jordan.
something stupid. This nostalgic scenario hits me again, reminding me of times when I wept on sandy beaches and cried on roads. Another beautiful storm enters my life, and without warning, I'm twisted and shaken far away from any shelter. This store from afar, a creation of God's own making. Oh, do I thank thee, O Lord, for such a sight. She is more meaningful to me each day, slowly passes, and that I suffer, but I cannot allow myself to be a part of her world. But against all my judgment, she is one worth of praise, one worth of time, and one worthy of every feeling that is deeply infused in my body. And then I approach her. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, I love you.
Been there. All right, coming up next we have Cody. Cody. Yeah. This Cody. April Not Full. April Not Full? That didn't make sense. Coming up next we have Trevor. I know I saw Trevor. There he is. Everybody give it up, Trevor. Yay!
I have sparked many streets with my 6-storied rooftop glory maze, and I always find escape schemes from mistakes I have made. I cooled the breeze and cleaned the rain, broke rivers to water the falls. I moved the leaves and eased the tang to stoke timbers to falter the walls, because morning wash knows a machete bulldoze my sun setting loose road toward a mango fruit forge I've known. I have flown away before and still haven't landed. I've flown away floors because I was handed a crisp and clenched fist I couldn't fit in a domestic to-do list. I wrapped mist around my wrist with Andes mountains, fanning fountains of fog, hounded by the grounded call, crowded by shawled sound. But I don't care for what I haven't found. I explore up and down, even when implored to think of the door inshore. It locks tight when you leave it behind, but life's potential is slighted by a room, and we all crave that room with a door, we all crave that room with a door, with safe warmed wood of bamboo floors, and windows and curtains for burdens, a desk and a bed to pour your burning and pass around the passing out. But I have lined my crashing down with sugarcane cash and lashing out, because home is not a place I can call home, it's only in the unknown. Each time going grows more absurd. Just throw out your thumb in the middle of nowhere and wait to be heard. But waiting is like leaping on to a slippery rocks knowing you'll fall, so I feel my trail on the impossibly steep wall, and sometimes it deceives me if it's a hold or not, and I can't hold it to the rot of the heat that holds me still, half hanged out this windowsill, 100-year chain smoking my sulking mills, anointing my hulking hair until I wear melt racing rivers, emaciating glacial patience. Because we are only an amalgamation of states of mind and mind for so little time. So join and leave at your breakneck speed and feast fast enough to give back. We each have a piece to the secret of life. It can only grow if you show your own and your woven voice and your copper coins from your weary joints. You'll still find yourself second guessing your stooped landings, struggle planning your next haven, but I'm brazen and craving when blazing my home. Ravens may be brave, but my out-of-style lightness is messy roamed with piles of heights and mossed over stone that broke for the loam, routing out cloud forest by your bridges, down in loud pouring fire hinges, the ditch and trees breezing, a graffitied whale song of creaks and squeaks that belong on dirty knees. And you can curb broken streets with open laughter only after never growing up and never growing old, because chapters teach us to let go. I craft the roads with beach-scented fire that reaches higher than night. Next time they tire, they won't ire for an eye on their life, and substanced up, sweetened touch that ripples through creasing dreams, caressing the mind's curtained leaves. And I've learned that nature is an underappreciated seamstress. Her verdant weave isn't something we get to see between seamless seeds and infinity. It dooms imprints in my sheets and sutures grins to my shelves, and I moved her to seat herself on the edge of my hip, rinsing my crest as she wished. But she held up my sinews and set me in hues for the next renew up in every cornered moon, and it's lonely too. But distance is only one instance of escaping to the impulse of my lustful tune.
Hell yeah. We got about 7 more poets. That'll be the end of round 2 unless there's anybody that hasn't read. I'll just jump in there real quick. Oh, yes.
You got one? Yeah, I got one.
Oh, no. We still have 7 more. You're on there, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's your name again?
Robert.
Robert. Yes,
Yes,
you are on there.
Yes, you are.
I should probably know the list better. Yeah, memorize. Oh, next we have Darren. Everybody give her Darren. Yay!
So I was never going to say this in front of a crowd of people, to be honest. It was just something I wrote to myself and it was really catchy, so I just kept it on my phone. Anyway, this is called Date Night. It's my first date ever. It's pretty cool. Anyway. I took her on a movie date where she got freaky anyway. I'm just a man, what can I say? Girl, get the fuck away. Hell no, I'm not that nigga. I'm just trying to stack my figures, skip the dinner, eat at home. She is wet, my dick is long. Toro, Mexico, I'm sick in this horn where it goes. Down the rabbit hole, they say, hello kitty, can I play? Scratch her back, make her purr, flip her down, we're taking turns. Fuck so loud, orgasm heard. Girl, I'm not a fucking nerd. That's right. He's not a nerd, people. All right, coming up next we have Robert. Everybody give it for Robert. Yeah!
Wow, okay? So we're almost out of time, right?
Oh no. Just round 2.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Well, I thought before reading something of my own, I'd read something written by this guy named David Benson. He's actually a musician. As I've done before, I've read lyrics from songs that I feel are very readable aloud, but only because I feel like it says something I'd like to say, but better than I could try to say it, and so I might as well just say what he said for. Anyway, check it. It's called Visions from the Dark Side. Dark eyes, shadows grim, they come for me. Midnight chimes, blackened earth, the evils rise. Pits of hate open wide, chasm of my dreams. Last of chimes, monks arrive and take my mind again. Waste polluted memories, acid rivers flow. Vigil for this land's decay, sounding from below. Dogs of war, Satan's own, plotting all their sins. Weapons aimed at liberty, my vision, no one wins. So take my mind all the way, the dark side calls, I shan't resist. Men forever wrought in pain, mind machines control. Toxic rains, scouring brains, victimizing souls. Winds of war suffocate, voodoo in the sky. Breathe the gases, breathe no more, my vision all will die. Cut myself and release the blood, pains of 4,000 years. Pathetic sights, journey's end, descent into another world. My time has come to meet the masters, all the corporate lords. I'm not afraid to face all their trials, slavery. In the end, they'll still have no power over me. Daylight shines, blind my eyes, waken to another day. Tribulation now has passed, but the dreams remain. Walls of sleep fade away, abandonment of wonders. Monks of knowledge bid farewell and leave me with these visions from the dark side. A little cheesy, but...
All right, thank you. We have Ryan coming up next. Ryan, there's Ryan. Everybody give it Ryan, yay!
So I mostly wrote this for myself, but then I like to read it out loud because it reaffirms it in my mind.
The collection of imperfections in the soul of a being thrusts forth the energy in an individual. Do not fear your flaws, embrace that, and for your self-doubt, replace that. Failure is only the stepping stone to success, wherever that may be. And for those who cast doubt on the path you forge, know that no one will wear your shoes. One person is change. If one person can change, speak the truth of your existence. Let everyone know you will not let walls of anxiety change your course. Live life with force.
Thank you. All right, we're down to the last 4 poets of round 2. Yeah, it's been a great round 2. Oh man, yeah, we did that one ha. Thank you. I deserve that one ha. All right. Coming up next, we have Leah.
Alright, cool. This one's titled The Sounds I Hear. The tick-tock of time will never tick-tock interrupt your sweet lips on mine. Tick-tock. And when the moon does not shine, I'll tick-tock look to your smile. The drip-drop of rain will never drip-drop cause us pain. Drip-drop. And when the clouds can't remember our name, I'll drip-drop whisper them softly all the same. The chit-chat of your word will never chit-chat be unheard. Chit-chat. And when flowers can't hear you say, I'll chit-chat tell them to stay. The flip-flop of my heart does go, will never flip-flop stop. I need to let you know. And when you look towards my way, I'll flip-flop say how much I love you.
Aww. And she didn't think she wanted to breathe. Yeah, everybody give it up for Leah. What do we do here? If you haven't read before, this is the first place to read.
Yeah.
We're a fun-loving bunch of people.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we have, is Mark. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't even know. He didn't even know.
Mark.
Yes, give it up for Mark my words. Yay! I assumed you were reading? That's it?
Mark's gonna need some time.
Well, you're next, man.
Introduce yourself.
First of all, clap if you sit next to someone beautiful. You didn't all come by yourselves. Don't make it a long car ride home. And even if you did, you always got your shadow, so you never without a reason to clap. Okay, so real quick, my name is Joe Brundage. I am the director of the Austin International Poetry Festival. Basically 4 days, over 50 different events throughout the course of the city. We have taken over Austin. Not really. It's not a dictatorship. It's just open mics, workshops, slams, youth and adult poetry slams, various other things that are very awesome. And for those of you who don't know who she is, first of all, welcome to Planet Earth. Secondly, it is my esteemed pleasure to announce that journalist, activist, educator, the esteemed NickT will be featuring at the Austin International Poetry Festival. If you don't know who she is, Google her. She's awesome. You'll be so happy you Googled. You'll be so happy you Googled. So I have flyers upon my person. If you would like a flyer, that'd be great, because it would make my book bag so much lighter. So much lighter. I'm gonna do a poem, ladies and gentlemen, real quick. Just like super quick. Give me a poem, robot. Do what I say. Gosh, dog. Okay. This is called Green. Dear Jenny, I can tear your house down, render it to pieces when you have the strength to walk out of it. But even then, it would not be worth it for me to do so and chance leaving the splinters in your heart. I confess I never tore mine down. It wanted that, so it could live within me, needed my attention, my hate, so that it could breathe. So I left it up to remind me where never to go again. I suppose it's still there, but I wouldn't know. I would build you a new one, but mine hadn't had anybody living there for so long. If you wanted, I'd just clean it out. You can live in any room you wish, from one to the other. Every day if you like. Don't mind the pieces of paper strewn all about. Don't read any of them. They're all full of little things I've said about you and I don't want you to see because they're all corny. I may be a smart man, but I am dumb enough to know what love is and not let you convince me you don't deserve it. Tell that story walking. I possess the gumption to save you, but I am stronger even to endure the labor of patience, to wait for you in the forest should you see me past the trees, beyond the growing towers of slumber, past the growing logs of woodhave, and leave with me the lands barren of your fears. And when you have realized that those heights weren't enough, you may jump and know that my hands are big and wide and ample to catch the feather that you are, and that you lay there, not within my knuckles, but within the valley of my palm, where you would still be able to at least kiss the air and finally know the truth. That you are stronger than then, and even though it has ravaged you, under the false guise of time, a wolf in life's clothing, you are still breathing, you are still here, and your reward at the end of it all is a beautiful silver skeleton key made for a door with the beginning written on it. My love is not so hot that you would be smothered. It instead offers exchange, the hell of all that you have known, for the heavens of uncertainty. I am in love with you by intelligent design, smart enough not to know smart enough not to change you, enough to know I can't love you until you love yourself enough to teach me how. And oh, baby, I would be in class every day, mouth shut with a crush on my teacher, hands raised, fingers spread, with a custom-made big dumb grin and a bright red crimson pomacious waiting to be given. Jenny, I would not feel what I feel if I was not tethered to likewise. You tell me to run, and in the end I will. Where I do go is up to you, Jenny. I would not feel what I feel if I was not tethered to likewise. And my poem is messing up because this robot is acting stupid. Do what I say. Hold on. Why do you make me talk to you like this in front of people? Gonna be a long car ride home, robot. Jenny, I would not feel what I feel were I not tethered to likewise. You care enough to tell me to run, and in the end I will. Where is up to you. I am in love with you to know that you are not mine, Jenny. You are your own hero. Clap if you're sitting next to AIPF.org. They have flyers. They make my book back lighter when you take them from me.
Oh, God, hell yeah, man. That was Element 615, Joby. He hosts a awesome open mic in Austin on every Sunday at Kick Butt Coffee. One of my favorite open mics ever. And also, I just have to say again, Austin International Poetry Festival, I've been 5 years in a row. It's one of the greatest experiences of my life. This kind of energy, this is what you're feeling in here, all that you've experienced, it's an entire weekend of that. And it all culminates at the end, and just the amount of stuff that you hear from people all across the world. You'll never get that chance anywhere else, especially not here in Texas. It's amazing. Talk to Joe, talk to Mark, talk to Thom, find out what you can, check it out, it's amazing. Yeah, so that was my little thing about that. Coming up next, is Mark? Yeah, we have Mark. Coming up next, we have Mark My Words. Everybody give her Mark. Hey!
If I could be anyone, I would be my nephew. The day before his sister died. If for no other reason, just to be there, know that someone who cares is near, get some idea of what it's like. If I could be anyone, I would be my niece the day after her sister died. Get some idea of what it felt, but not just expressed. If I could be anyone, I would be myself. The day after I stopped being a far too distant uncle. The day after I stopped avoiding conversations. If I could be anyone, I would be myself. The day after I find words where there is silence. And silence when the words are meaningless. If I could be anyone, I would be the most complicated person I knew, who is no longer here. If I could be anyone, I would be the person who cannot be here. I want to live in the mind of someone whose mind I cannot live in, who found it difficult to live in her own mind. If I could be anyone, I want to be myself the day after I learn regret is not something negative to reject, but to accept as a bitter pill, a delivery life for recovery. If I could be anyone, I want to be myself the day after I learn that there is much more we can do than be stifled by regret. Continue to change the way we treat those with mental illness.
Thank you so much. This is such an awesome night. Y'all are all awesome. Everybody's awesome. Coming up next, we got our last poet for round 2, unless anybody else wants to sneak in. Oh, of course you can read, Mark. Yeah, of course Mark can read. And I think, well, Nicolas wanted to go last. So coming up next, we have Mark. Everybody give it up for Mark.
This isn't a fish concert. It is now.
What normally happens? What's a fish concert?
Oh, you go so old.
The perfection of the process of living is so sublime, we're constantly in danger of underestimating its nature. We grow through our trials the best we can and put up our analyses till later. But that time never comes, because we're beset by everything under the sun and our minds are constantly in play, regretting the past and ignoring the day. If we're not thinking about then, we're thinking about tomorrow. If we don't embrace sin, we choose to embrace sorrow. The Buddha said that suffering is guaranteed when desire becomes need and the scions of sin are free to wreak havoc indeed. We're not even clear enough to plead with ourselves, to delve beneath the momentary thoughts, to seek the truth beneath the things that we've sought, and continue to seek. Thus, the course of our lives becomes more and more bleak. We continue to turn the other cheek, tweaking aspects of self till our egos then swell and the illusion becomes complete. Jesus was in tune with Eastern runes. His words of wisdom were hewn from the edifice attuned to the ultimate divinity. He was one expression of the spiritual trinity, encompassing the expanse of the all, presented to sinners in thrall to what in effect amounts to the rejection of sex. The various cults that misappropriate vital energy, creating synergy that siphons the soul, that diverts our true goals, that energetically feeds monsters and vampires and ghosts. Doses of Christmas's future, the remedy of a spiritual suture that closes the wound, bringing emotions in tune, silencing minds that won't still, allowing space for goodwill. It all comes down to silencing the mind. That's it, in a nutshell. The bells of clarity can only ring if we can hear them. The heavenly chorus can only sing if we listen. Glistening pearls of wisdom glint in the gloaming, bubbling like froth, foaming and bursting on the shores of the sea. Each droplet a worldling, each atom within hurtling through infinite voids, each potentiality employed in the manifestation of the all. Sadly to say, we make the choice to stall. We make the choice to fall. And that is all as it should be. Becoming more aware of the moment, we notice the magic. We notice the tragic often leads to more blessings. The depressing and distressing, expressing our progression. Mind becomes clear as compression becomes dear, as mental control leads to peace, recognizable as cheer. It's not really. It's no state of being. It is being in between when your slate becomes clear. Peace becomes the norm and you no longer react to every storm. You realize thunder and lightning are good now that the storm within is understood. And eventually, you begin to notice the moments again. Like we did when we were kids. The beauty of breath. The goodwill that kindness foments. The inevitability of death. The perfection of peace and the onset of emotional and spiritual surcease. This is the goal that was ours from the start. We paid the heavy price of life so that wisdom might impart itself unto us in the meantime. This is the whole reason we left the divine. Not so sublime once you remember what to do. The question then becomes, can you?
All right, we've got the last poet for round 2. Where's Nicolas? Where? There he is. Everybody give her Nicolas.
Would you mind? Thank you. I really admire Mark. It's very great. Okay, give me a word.
Stars.
What?
Zygote.
Actually, what is zygote?
Sperm and egg before they're baby.
Okay. Okay. The thought as a zygote comes to the womb, from my mouth, into life that spits fire into existence, that exists within the womb of my mind first, and the canal of my mouth second. It is visceral, strong, natural, messy, but it exists, and that is most important to my mother and my father, who created me, and now I have the chance to create the words that are my children, and that I will write one day into the books, the volume of my ancestry and my predecessors, and my post-posthumous relation to the world which I have created in essence of nothing. And that nothing, came from one small cell. And that one small cell grew into something that is greater than me, because these words, no matter if I use them, will outlive who I am and who I wish I could be.
Hell yeah, visceral.
All right, thank you. That is the end of round 2, and so that means we're gonna take a little break for about 10 minutes. So about 10 o'clock is when round 3 is gonna start. Oh yeah. 10 o'clock, round 3, the last round. It's just gonna be greater and greater and greater, folks. All right, everybody. Round 3 is starting right now. Yeah, I like your energy. All right. So round 3 is getting ready to start right now, and we're just gonna kick it off right away. Bring some noise for Thom and Bob Mudd, everybody. Yay!
When I go to a poetry reading, most of them are talking about their pasts. What happened to them to make them broken? Why they can't. They use relation to let the demons out. Aware, the doorway of each moment is revolving. You might get caught in karma. Every bird needs wings to live from gravity. Some are so small they cannot carry a bee. But like salmon up a waterfall, they defy all logical. And so we call on the sleeping poet, the wolf inside the sheep. You claim you've only got one heart. You say, I've only got tonight. You know, we've only got this time. But it's enough. It's enough. Each word is just like a bird. Its wings will let you sing. every gift this moment brings is like a lake or river. Why water, you say? Well, water transmutes and water's an element. It's combined with hydrogen and oxygen. And our energies tonight are all combined. Even if you are moving for stillness within. Heard before, you'll hear again. Everything changes when you sing. It's like a call, it's like response. You send it out, it comes right back. But you say there are walls. We need wings. They're small, visible things. Every smile is a dream. Seed of all when you sing.
All right, thank you. That was Thom, Bob Mudd, and Scott. Everybody give it up for them. And coming up next, we've got Mr. Bob Mudd. Everybody give it up, Bob Mudd. Yeah!
Two short pieces, one dark and one light. It's gonna fall down.
Like I like my chicken.
Oxymoron. He says that he wants to kill you to get to heaven. So, do you turn the other cheek so you can get to heaven? For the new father in the house.
What?
You're at the beginning of something incredible. And Joyce, wonderful. All the babies I know, and there's quite a few, they smile and laugh much more than they cry. I ever wonder why. Could it be that being alive is all we really need to get high?
Yeah, you know, I don't think that's too much to ask. Coming up next, we have Louise. Everybody, Louise!
The dark. I have made friends with the dark, gradually, subtly, unknowingly. Lights out at 5, there were monsters under bed, in open closet, outside, plus spiders rappelling all around me, until I conjured up a spider-proof curtain, lowering at bedtime from my ceiling. At 10, I would still close closet doors, superstitiously every night, just in case. In times when everything was possible, imagination ran rampant. Monsters ruled, wolves lurked deep in the local woods, and golden eagles carried off babies. With adulthood, there were still boogeymen, a realistic basis for fear of the dark to be sure, though they did not hide in my bedroom closet, and my spider curtain was no longer required. In middle age now, I just know a home intruder would trip and fall in my messy, cluttered house when sneaking about without the benefit of light, and my guard cats would attack him viciously. Well, probably not. But he might stumble from one rubbing against his leg and begging for a bribe. I'd rather appreciate the play of moonlight and darkness, as well as that of sunlight on a day brilliant and glowing. But the shadowy contrast of black and white and gray pierces deeply into my fundamental human psyche, and hints of things seen, unseen, and almost seen, raising the hairs on the back of my neck in alarm, racing the pace of my beating heart with apprehension, and driving my fertile mind to ponder and wonder at worlds dreamed, known, and yet to be discovered. For the dark is the mind is me, I am the dark.
Yeah, thank you. Coming up next, we have Robin. Everybody give it up for Robin. Yeah!
It's amazing. I found some cat poems I didn't read last week, or last month. They're linked haiku. Writing about cats, nothing can be more than that. Furry metaphors. You know, why don't you go write about nature? I write of toothy nurture. Thom, you gotta say that my cat poems beat out my hopeless crushes. And say more about real life. Tooth, 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 claw, purr. I use cats instead of my friends' initials now. Purrs in the poems. Thank you.
Thank you. You know what? And that reminds me. Where are the dog poems? Where's the dog poetry? You know what? Yeah.
They don't need it.
I made a challenge last time. And where's the dog poetry? Love cats. Love cat poetry. But we need some dogs. Everybody does. All right. This is something I wrote quite a while back. You know, I saw an article and it was talking about how when we're kids, we don't have a problem with performing. We don't have a problem with dancing just for the sake of dancing around anybody. We don't care. And that is kind of something, as we grow older, we get more self-conscious about that. We tend not to do that. And they're finding that people that keep that spirit of wanting to dance just wherever they are, yeah, just like that, wanting to perform, wanting to get out there, wanting to have fun, that they sort of keep that's where the spirit of being a kid is. And so with that in mind, this is called You Begin with a Beat. You dance, you live for yourself. There are times I come home after a long day being out dealing with the unreasonable, dealing with the twitchy, the glitchy, the software screwed society. There are these times that I come home and it's all I can do but turn up the music and dance like some damned fool whose clothes appear to be on fire. There's never an audience. It never matters if there's an audience. Dancing is an exercise mimicking the art of living, the art of loving, of shaping your body to sync with another beat. It's a beat we're all lovingly familiar with. It's the first beat we ever hear, the beat of our mother's heart. There are these times that I come home after an almost endless day of computers, customers, and chaos, when I can feel the tension of my wired back winding ever tighter. There are these times that I turn out all but the strobing neon lights and turn up the music to a soothing, strobing sensation. I give the music a moment to recharge my batteries. Then I start my dancing, and I begin my unwinding. I dance and I unwind. I dance and I unwind, and there is never any applause, unless you count my rapidly beating heart, exclaiming, Bravo. Bravo. Encore. Encore. Thank you. And coming up next, we've got Steve. Everybody give it over Steve. Yay!
Thank you very much. One thing I'd like to say before I read my poem. I was thinking the other day that when I was a young child, I had a closet that didn't have a door on it. And in it, every night, there was this tiger. It used to scare me all the time. And I realized that the same year that I no longer feared the dark, I couldn't fly in my dreams anymore. So maybe there's a difference. We run screaming from the truth to the loving embrace of hatred and prejudice. We find only comfort in that which is a mirror-like reflection. We demonize and find fault with all that is not perfection. We cower, though, from the stinging slap of rejection. Makeup worn to conceal every perceived imperfection. If we only vote for the beautiful, we will in the end lose every election. Life on a water-filled, volcanic, earthquake-prone planet is not about perfection. Beauty only plays a small role in natural selection. Reverse the media imprint direction. Look then in the mirror and see your perfect imperfection. Refuse to live your life with society's letter of rejection. Look beyond the tightly controlled ideas about sexuality, religion, politics, and complexion. In shallowness, you will never find a deep connection. Run away from the fixed mindset primaries and hold your own election. Create a world surrounded by not your own reflection. Look into the character beyond the shell to make a true selection. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Coming up next, we've got Yaya. Everybody give it Yaya!
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. Alright, sweet, sweet, sweet. I'm excited. Alright, here we go. Woo! Alright. Alright. Yeah, nobody said it. Alright. Party, party, party. I hope that life is just for fun. Cause I've been drinking and smoking, cause that's how fun is done. Intoxicated mindset spins the world into a buzz. Trying to write a poem, I can't find a topic. My mind jumps, skips, tumbles, hip-hop and rocking, non-stopping. It must be the wavelengths, being interrupted, fences, walls, alleyways. Gutter-balled education, fail them all, now play ball. Don't stall, we got shots we got to call. Malls to be built, built to beat halls. Halls decked with dolls, dolls displaying draws. Pause. What do I feel like saying? I feel like making a listener melt. Jaw dropped with rhythm felt, hand dealt, pick up the cards and chase yourself. Play test made, got moves like Elvis Presley. All right, hold on. One second. How many mics do we rip on the daily? Me say many. Me say many, many, many. All right. Smash beats, please, easy release from the police. Cause tight grips are ceaseless. That spring dress and sunsets. Body wet, homeostasis. Sweat, no regrets. I say, okay. Flow easy like Sunday. But the spotlight needs some wordplay. Okay, check this. No, really check this. Cut your mind open, irrespective. Testing your senses on your checklist. I know you hear me. Words pouring out so freely, nearly on the verge of steering, chaotic veering, check. I know you see me, a picture, image clearer, the pixelated screens nearer to me as reality. So you think, check, but can you feel me? Here's the question of that human connection, that search humanity, merge the one, handsome, my soul selects, random, da dum dum. Come one, become all, as many as will fit in this earth ball.
All right. All right, all right. Man, I can't say all right now without Matthew coming. Coming is Ryan Elliott. I think he might have Amp scrape. I think he did amp scrape. Yep. Oh, I should have been prepared for that. So coming up next, we've got Scots. Great Scots! Yay!
I'm not doing the mic. I'm in the mood for some finger picking. Trouble is, when I play real fast, I can barely talk. Okay, so yeah, well, yeah, we'll see. Who's your boss? Who's your boss, man? Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay. Same one I always play in for the last, I don't know, 2 years. It occurred to me the other day, as I was writing out the new course schedule for the American public education system. There are certain courses that should be taught. We can start by scrapping the Big Four. And while I like math, and I do a lot of it, I thought it should be replaced math, English, science, social studies with sex education, coping skills, brotherly love, and Dungeons and Dragons. The best stories I've ever taught were those I did with my players. I'm a dungeon master. And I know life is a lot like that. Mind you, I'm going to get back to the sex education bit in a second. Not how you get pregnant, but how to do it right. Side story, my mom went to the University of Houston with my dad in the 60s. That was their sex education class. They did homework every night. So what do you want to be with your fellow players, your cashier clerks, your fellow poets, your musicians? Life is just a, put it bluntly, fucking game. You're either playing with words, somebody else's mind, the sounds in your head, the cars on the freeway, your money, your ideas of responsibility, time, and future. And the real issue is there isn't a dungeon master. But everywhere are monsters, concepts of ego, self-doubt, self-gain, self-preservation. Strike them all down, pile them up, and go find the treasure. That's somewhere inside that googly bong hidden mind of yours is a guy so stoned he can't see his own eyes.
like watching poets say what's on their mind. Peace.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. And you know what, just hearing, I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan, and hearing that, the acoustic guitar, oh my god, I was just like at a Dave Matthews concert, I was like, this is great. Because that was great, that was awesome. Fish, yeah.
Fish and Dave Matthews, that sounds like a good time.
Coming up next, we've got Brent. I saw him, there he is. Everybody give it up for Brent, yeah!
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I've been coming here for a little while, and I've never shared anything. And I've decided to half share by reading something that was written by someone else. But
still counts.
This is, and I decided to read something that was written really recently by someone else. A good poem by a poet who I really love, that I haven't read often enough to be familiar. It's a poem by Shira Ehrlichman, who I introduced to as many people as I can. She is a young lady who is just slightly younger than I am, and who lives in New York. This is a poem that she wrote that is in a, I'm not sure if it is a physically published collection, but it is included in a collection called Fragments of Persephone. This poem is called Camouflage by Shira Ehrlichman. I thought I glimpsed in the bush a black-eyed child, but it was a bomb. I tried to kiss her before she detonated, but I was her gun. Her teeth broke, chandelier droplets fell to the soil between us, yellow pearls detonating under my touch. I ached to save us both, so I gauzed her mouth under the applause of rain. But the gauze was blood. I wrapped blood in blood. Child, I whispered, they've taken the light. I was a mother once. There are bees in the milk. I could not pick a way to say all I'd seen. Our willows stuffed with barbed wire, gunpowder, dressed as wheat in sunlight, endless gallons of neon, waste masqueraded as ocean, and the women who bathed there daily, their wombs blurred, long glow. They've taken the candlelight, Jesus read by. Very was a mother once. I knew how to get the swilling howl to drink. But now there are bees in the milk I drank because I believed the cow. I drank until my lips were riddled with needles. Even love has a hidden knife.
Awesome, man. It's good to see you again. It's always good to see a returning face. And coming up next, we've got Anna. Everybody give it up for Anna. Yeah. Come on. That's not the kind of enthusiasm I want. This is San Marcos Poetry Night.
So tonight was my first night reading. I had only planned to read 2. This is a poem I wrote for a friend about bikes. If my sanity sits precariously on 2 handlebars defiantly, would you chase me to infinity? Lose the world and all of history in the quickly fading imagery left behind. We'll chase the river in the blazing sun, discover treasures unknown to anyone, and the secret wisdom in our smiles will distract us for a little while from the immensity of the mystery inside. If all the stars are out tonight, will you gaze at them with me? If the breeze is blowing still, will you sing and laugh and dance until reluctant dawn shines on our sweaty skin? If my sanity sits assuredly on wheels rotating endlessly, can we fall into eternity? Never caring to know why that silly rabbit's always rushing off to just another moment lost to time. Since my sanity sits weightlessly on borrowed handlebars so effortlessly, I feel like I can fly right up into fabled sky. So letting go of balanced handlebars, I am fearless.
You said this was your first time reading?
Yes.
Awesome. Hell yeah. So what do you like to hear? All right, coming up next, we've got Rachel. Everybody give it up for Rachel. Yay!
So I have a Tumblr and like I post my poetry and like I have people I have like 1,000 followers, but they don't talk to me. So every once in a while they do, and I asked for like poetry prompts, and this like person anonymously like asked me this question that was really sad, but it was basically talking about how like the last 4 people that she loved, like it didn't work out, and like she was just sorry I'm gonna undress. It's kind of hot up here. The last 4 people that she loved like didn't love her back, and she was just kind of feeling sad. 1. I thought it was love. It might have been something. Loneliness, longing, not worth anything once the lights are on. 2. The way your hair fell on your face when you pulled me in to kiss you absolutely made me melt. And maybe that's what we were. I was a candle and you were a match. It wasn't my fault. I didn't know you had a heart made of wax. 3. I came to you with my heart a little damaged. You showed me yours, stitched up with certainty, and you promised we would work. Although we helped each other heal for a little while, we both still needed recovery time after playing open heart surgery with past lovers. 4. You came to me at a transitional time in my life. I swear I loved you in passing, and I know you love me too. But we were just nanoseconds out of sync, and little moments kept piling up until our relationship was just a few memories of the time we actually worked. I'm going to title this, Either I'm Impossible to Stay With, or I Should Just Hold Out Hope for number 5.
thank you. You know, you said Tumblr, and I know I've reached that point in my life where like I'm old. I don't get Tumblr. Like I really I thought it was all cool and stuff, but no, Tumblr I just don't understand. I can Tumblr? Yeah. Got endorsement.
Tater Mac can Tumblr.
You hear that? I can Tumblr. So on that note, coming up next. Yeah, we got Chelsea, everybody. Get over Chelsea. Yay!
So I have like 4 that I could read. Y'all get the option of which one y'all want. So 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
3.
3. Pick up a 3, by the way.
4. Alright. 2. I'm gonna go with 3 just because.
3, everybody.
3 for me.
3 for me.
This keeps falling. Oh no. Alright. Cool. What is she doing? What are you doing? Do something. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to entertain you? Do you want me to explain to you how at the end of all of this it is whatever you wish, that you make your afterlife to be what all you want it to be? Whether that be burning in hell, gambling your soul away past 4 and having unlimited whores, or it's the bright pearly gates of heaven and at 7:30 in between 11:15. You have the option to regenerate your soul and play the whole game of life over and over and over again until you get tired, until you just want to retire. All of your knowledge and underappreciated homage to leave this plane of existence and keep up that resistance that will grant you the admittance to not only be killing the game, but to destroy the whole board. All you humans do is scream for more. This isn't alien lore, it's common knowledge, if you would only acknowledge and not just mingle along the edge. No hesitation on the ledge.
Thank you. All right, and coming up next, we've got Nick. Everybody give it up for Nick. Yay!
Dang, writer's block suck. Great days remind me of drinking Stewart booze and drowning Sinatra at the Canvas Lakes while teens flee with their roller skates.
Alright, thank you. I like that. That needs to be a thing now. So coming up next we got Jordan. Everybody give it up for Jordan! Yay!
Alright, well, I just wrote this one.
Yay!
And I'm just going to title it Breath. It has nothing to do with the poem, but Breath. She's 6'3", but ooh, is she perfect to me. And I don't mind that elevation. Uptown funk playing loud on the car. We both have our shades on like we're freaking a rock star. We hit the scene like a real Sonny and Cher duo. We have more connectional charge than the iPhone connection. We sync the last cup of beer pong together, and as she's cheering, I look at her thinking, oh, please let this moment last forever. Forever young. I want to be forever young with her, making mistakes and doing the shake. He's just a friend, so I think that's what she's contemplating, even though we got asked twice. Y'all dating? Isn't that a sign, though? Maybe I'm overthinking about this beautiful person. I'll leave with the following. If she ever hears this, just know, through rags or witches, I love you all and more than those stupid bitches.
You know, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I've got Forever Young stuck in my head now.
After party.
Sorry. Yeah, you do not want to hear me go down that road. Coming up next, we've got this Trevor. There's Trevor. Everybody give her Trevor. Yay! Oh yeah. Just don't drop it. Just don't drop it. You fall. No.
All right. I have packed up my life twice or thrice. I don't keep track. But what I don't tie to my back is left behind for the trash. Because I burn and I slash across scorched earth, and ash off comfort, and my dash comes first. I'm a runner with no number on my shirt because my worth is the thunder of my thirst. My place is displacing rain that they may satiate with in lip deep sips, but I dive and submerge only after breathing it. They may be unimpressed, but I'm unconcerned by suggestions that they know better because I know worse. It's outside guides and digital eyes and advice columns society subscribes to. It's outside film, it's outside factory wheel hinted meals and film reel tinted deals that silver screens over your Achilles heel. But the only way to lie in the ravine where three mountains meet is to see your vulnerabilities and hone the salinity to your own chemistry. So tell yourself, honestly, what bites at your heels when you forget to breathe? What fear heals over your heartbeat? Throwing that drum below the hum of forearm reeds, and know the sun in lowly runs of torn apart streams. When the second king bequeaths his pulmonary envy only at his ending, he will send for me to be Houston humid thick, accruing fuming insists of stability and sustenance I had no interest in, so I refused. Now I'm gilding my abilities with the loosed wilderness from my hip, and I live by my hip, rinsing with the mint. And I admit it, I must admit, my head has been cloud heavy, with wounds heading to my heart, mending since my C-section start. But arterial roads are sown with uncurable tones, and mercurial fevers eased and dosed by ethereal ethers, and I either half mind this maze and what it means and what it takes, or I travel anyway, not minding what way I'll be finding. I grasp at these things I cannot grasp, because in the end, what does anyone have? There's loneliness and death and success, and wrinkles of old men that twinkle their toed lines of getting so far in life. We all know we end, just not the premise. Until then, I'm hemming in hidden gifts of letting in a forbidden guest and making a mess of my chest. But as long as you're passionate and good, you'll find good company, profit-free 501c, sowing seeds of profiting from what you don't get to see or harvest. Because gardens aren't for reapers. When you leave, it hardens and grows deeper for an iron John keeper to reach for and leave her on rights and sides of rolling dice. So I don't mind tiring out my life on risk and impulsion, because my shoulders are pulsing in hits of cold and feathers, mulling over whether I should be going on or holding on. But I don't consider very long, because weather is something I win, folding up tethers and cribs and rinsing songs with my ribs and giving it all to the winds. Since then, I don't wince with the consequences. I regrew through these attritions. It's my conditions I write in the contract, and my decisions to honor that. No promises on what I keep, because I cleave life of its teeth, and heed only swing-step feet, and read the river of its weave. Because when I love a place, I leave. Oh.
Awesome. All right, we're down to about like the last 6 poets or so. So it's gonna be in around 3. It's gonna be the end of the night. It's been beautiful, you guys. All right, coming up next we got Robert. Everybody, give it up for Robert! Yay!
My obsessions this year that I can name up here are, that wasn't supposed to rhyme, they've been epistemology, metamathematics, and Egyptology, an interesting trio, especially the linguistic part of the last one. Something which they call it, their language was called Medu Necher, which arrogantly enough actually literally means God speak. They did get a lot of things right, at least the old Middle dynasties, but that's a another topic we could look into. So I thought I'd repeat a little input I had from my limited perspective on a symbol. It's also a trilateral glyph. It's called the Ankh. You've probably seen it. It's like this like loop that's like, you know, like a cross kind of. You've probably seen like a lot of, I don't know, like back in the day a lot of like goth people wore it for some reason. I don't know why. But it's interesting. A lot of times people say it stands for eternal life, which it kind of does, but there's sort of this, people aren't exactly sure what the image itself is supposed to mean, you see, and on top of it, it actually didn't literally mean eternal life. It only meant that when it was combined with other words. It itself it just meant life. In fact, they called food khetang, which meant just life stuff. A very, you know, base material kind of word. But anyway, so someone was asking, what does the symbol itself mean? Or what does it stand for? And I gave my unofficial take on it and provided reasons which inevitably went into what I thought the meaning of it was and why, given what I feel about that whole language. So it's just a short little thing. It's about life and living. My unofficial take on the Ankh is that it's a sandal strap, because living entails work and some inevitable degrees of pain, suffering, and drudgery to maintain biological homeostasis and to establish and refine functional patterns and rhythms of behavior in cooperation with an incarnation's occupied bioform. Also, just the way the word by itself sounds, it's kind of like an angry grunt, especially as they said it in the old dynasty with the RyanE. It's kind of how I feel a lot. I think it's a very fitting word for the entirety of the active experience of living, including all relevant things it entails. That's my unofficial take.
That was very informative. I like that. And I like food stuff. Life stuff, right? That's what food is, life stuff? Yeah, that's what I'm going to refer to it now whenever I go anywhere. It's alright. Coming up next, we got Ryan. Everybody give it up for Ryan. Yay!
I am not a nerd. But I do not want your embrace. I long for your ambition. I want you to want for you to be the most aware of yourself. Is that that is my satisfaction. What more do you want of me? I want your understanding. I'll be as me as I am. Is that a rare thought? No brainwave correction ideas in a collection of words on a page could change the outcome, but I never wrote that love letter. I could not have loved better.
Leah's still here? Leah? Is she? Read?
She left. Yeah.
She left.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then we just got 3 poets left. Woo. Okay.
All right, everybody, give it up for Joe B, aka Element 615. Yay!
Clap if you're sitting next to someone beautiful. Things I probably shouldn't tell you. Chickens are jealous of us because they can't talk. And I forgot the rest of that poem, so I'm not going to read it.
He didn't tell us.
You know, okay.
Did what you should.
Okay.
Really should.
You know what I'm saying?
Robot.
No, let me see. Stupid. Does my robot have it? I don't know. I'm not even gonna take that chance. I'm not even gonna do y'all like that. I'm gonna do that twice tonight. Okay, here we go. She will be what she already is. A beautiful little girl, Dream given form with sepia skin soft as a pleasant thought and kissed by the sun before she was born because it could not wait to play with her. Counselor in her right eye, magic in the left, eyes her very own shade of brown, the very hue of wisdom. Whatever you've been dying to tell someone, she'll just look at you like she already knows. A cute little nose with an angel's ears, a smile not infectious but vaccinating. Her very giggle will inoculate your soul from sadness. From her birth, there were only two types of people, those who love her and hate themselves. Self-honesty tends to reveal either or. She will possess a heart that pumps resilience, a timeless soul with limitless imagination. She will be happy to share, but bring your own, because it wouldn't be right for her to do it all by herself, although she probably could. Laughing, hugging, and crayons will range among her chief priorities. She'll try to color between the lines, but should she etch beyond set barriers, and that is just what needed to happen. Nap time is something she will only do when necessary, as there's simply too much for her to do to waste time closing her eyes. She'll have a thin for applesauce. Applesauce will be important. There will be days when applesauce will be all that stand between us and total annihilation. She will never hide unless it is her turn to, or the world just really got on her nerves that day. At some point, she will want to fly. And despite gravity's lessons, she will earn altitude for even believing she had a place among the clouds. She will avoid going crazy by not fighting it, laughing and dancing in the air in the rain as if they were the only partners suitable. Loving her will be so easy, but she can help you if respecting her proves difficult. She will find a woman in the mirror one day, and they will love each other forever, and her real beauty will be found in strength, sacrifice, and resilience. Even the dreams she won't want to have will guide her along the way, but someday she will need to stop. Rest her hands at her backside. She'll breathe, and she'll keep going. This is what heroes do. You're a hero. You will always believe in magic, but there will be days where you will speak incantations like Daddy. And sometimes you won't hear anything back. You will look for the first man to ever love you with a space for him shaped like those vacant seats at your little tea parties, and some days I will not be there. Days you will need help touching the sky, and some days I won't be there. Lost butterfly kisses, wishes for birthdays non-refundable. Daddy, how do I look? And some days I won't be there, and you will still look for me. Within the crevices of your memory, saving me a place and possibility, but with or without my presence, you will keep it moving, dealing with factors as opposed to living with excuses, because this is what women do. You will write out the pages of your own destiny, living within the key of your own song, and at the end of your day, child, there'll be a place outside where the sun can't wait to play with you, and the wind and the rain can't wait to dance with you. And there will be laughter and tears and applesauce. You will be what you already are. It's just the beginning.
You know, I've been hearing this dude for years and years, and the thing is, it's just that hit me more than it's ever hit me before, for obvious reasons too. That's beautiful, man. Yeah, I did. I saw it. I saw it all over the place. That was great. Now coming up next, we've got Mark My Words. Everybody give it up for Mark. Yeah!
You and I are really nice for white guys. You're really nice for a white guy when you talk to me as an individual, but talk about women as if they are the same, as if they should all be the same. You're really nice for a chauvinist. When you expect to have male bonding with me, when you talk about your experience with women as though they're conquests or exploits. You're really nice for a sexist. You're really nice for a bigot. When you say, I haven't had an Asian, as though there's a checklist of categories. You're really nice for a racist. When you tell an African-American woman, you're really pretty for a black girl. You're really nice for who you were. You're not stuck in the category that you have made for yourself, just as others are not stuck in the categories imagined by you.
All right. And if we don't have any other poets that haven't read that would like to read, then we're at our last poet for the night. All right. Everybody give it up for Nicolas. Nicolas, yay! Oh yeah, and if you can stick around and help, you know, like clean up, help us get everything, you're super awesome. Yay!
Hey, that's Brent. So I was wondering if you would okay if I read 2 poems? One that I'm not flowing.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the first one. This is called blown out candle. This is weird. This is weird for me.
You got it.
I wanted the dark to remain the dark, deep, sensuous, intimate. I wanted the shades to remain the shades, to remain the shades, to remain the shades. The different layers upon themselves, different textures and depths. I wanted you to remain and live with me in this immortal night and never have it end until we had no choice when the night was no longer but the daylight and you had to leave. And we would still be holding each other in this new life when that candle spoke no longer but only whispered in the natural light. That's that one. Okay. Okay, let me get a word.
Applesauce.
Applesauce.
I was ready.
This is for you guys, okay? Masticated beauty of innocence found in the teeth of a little girl sitting in front of me. Her smile is full of something improper, like lack of manners, but it does not matter because she is natural and knows no better. She is my love and my first love, because I have never loved another woman like her. She is everything, and everything I see in her, the progress, the future, the joy, the innocence, the passion of infectious happiness that surges in each moment in the high notes of her laughter that echo through that house that is empty. But I still have her. One day the house will be empty again, but I will have the memory of that masticated innocence as I see it in her teeth right now.
Hell yeah, you can do a haiku. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of round 3 and the end of the night. We're gonna end it with some haiku. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna do 2 haiku. This first haiku is my haiku about Google, which will begin shortly after this sentence. Google. Because there's just some shit you don't ask other people. Okay, and let me know if I mess up the count on this one. Okay, last one. You ready? The Austin International Poetry Festival. You should go.
All right, thank you everybody. That's been San Marcos Poetry Night. We meet the first Thursday of every month. Y'all have been awesome. And if you can't help us, that's even greater. Let's get all this going. Y'all have been great. Thank you very much.